Pouse around the house. Today we're looking at part 24 in my series of loft conversion videos. We're going to be fitting some battens, some counter battens, some lead soakers, making a start on the slating of the cheeks of the dormers, and making some alterations to the window openings. But before that, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications to alerted when I make a new upload. Another day you caught back up with me doing the window. Now last time you saw us doing some counter battening on these corners here. Now I've just come out, fresh head, realised that we rushed a bit, we hadn't put a felt around the corners. So what I've done is taken the battens off. I've done the bit behind me over there. I didn't show that on camera, I thought I'd put this bit on there. Taking those off, I'm going to wrap the felt around, cut it to size, staple it on, get the battens back on, and then we can continue on with the slating.
Tells a story and how it's gonna end. Tell a story. This is black and white.
All I was doing here was just using the level to get my battens so that I know they bang on with the other side. So when you look at this from the front, all our slates should be nice and straight, because the roof actually has a bit of a dip in it. So we did the lead to follow the line of these slates on the roof down here. So if you look at it really carefully, it looks like the lead ever so slightly slopes down. So rather than follow that line, we've made everything else bang on level. So obviously when the window comes in, that's going to be level. That's going to be level with the lead tray underneath the window, bang on level, and with the line of the slates below. And that's going to be what catches the eye. So it's best to do that and leave this one slightly out to follow these slates here.
I take every punch you throw. This sound is the same sound as any sound. This place is the only place I know.
Now I'm going to do the lead tray for the window, so I'm just going to try and beat that into some sort of shape. It's over 1.5 metres wide, so I'm doing it in two pieces. I'm going to do an overlap of about 4 inches in the middle, and I've measured them so that that overlap, or the line that's visible, is bang on central with the window, just to make it look a bit neater. You can see I've trimmed this bit of lead. This bit here will hide under the next slate that overlap, so it just goes beyond the width of the window, and this bit will turn up inside the window. We'll try and form it round to create a nice tight seal on the corner. Made some soakers, and now is what I'm going to do, the same as at the base of the cheeks of the dormer that we've seen already. They're sort of in reverse, they go around this way, then a slate, then the lead, then the slate, and so on, and I'll do the same on this side here.
This is black and white.
So there's another another day. We're in November now, so time's getting on, and I'm really just trying to grab the odd few hours here and there now because we're getting early night, so I'm getting back from work, it's dark, it's no good. Saturday morning, I'm just going to try and get on with these slates. Hopefully I can try and get some slates on the cheeks of these dormers. Now it's a bit slippery on this roof today because obviously it's been raining overnight and we're due a bit of rain in a bit, so I just got to get on with it, see how we get on. But if it gets too wet, I'm going to have to go back in. Finally, this side of the dormer is done. I've just got to go over the other side and make a start on that. I'm not going to finish that today because it's going to be getting dark again soon, but I'll see what I can get done.
Face is the only face I know, and it tells a story and how it's gonna end.
So just to quickly show you my thought process, I'm starting off with a full slate, and obviously I want the bottom of the slate to line up just above the lead here. I don't want to put it on the lead because you don't want it too tight. You want a bit of room for expansion and contraction in case it moves up and down. And just to make sure that the bottom is level and my slates fit all the way along, I've just drawn a line with my nails to go for the first slate. Then I've used the spirit level as you just saw and marked a few lines all the way across, and I've just lined the slate up with it, and it works out that it's absolutely fine because this is level. But if there was a bit of slight curve in the lead and that, and you've gone a bit tight, you might get halfway across and find that the bottom of your slate is hidden into that ledge. So that's the only reason for what I was doing then. Once I got this first slate marked down, I'm happy with where it's going to go. Then I can obviously put the first batten on. I'm going to put another batten below for like an eaves course, like you've seen in the previous videos. When I say eaves course, for those of you that haven't seen it before, I just mean you do a couple of short slates below basically. You put one slate on, then you put another, and then that holds your little copper disc rivets, and then you put your final large slate over the top. Once I've done that, I'm going to space them at 25 centimetres so that the gap between each slate is 25 centimetres. We'll go right the way up to the top, but before I do this I've got to make a few alterations to this window as well. I've got to make it slightly wider, the opening, so there's a few things I've got to do along the way, so this video might be a bit scatty, popping in and out of slating, battens, etc. But hopefully we'll get there by the end of today, and then we may make a start on the cheeks of the dormer, or maybe we only get to the end of this today because I've got to get in early and it's going to get dark again because we're in November now, so we'll see how we get on. Quite see it from here, but cut a long story short, when we were doing the roof we discovered that one side of the roof, this side over here, is actually at a slightly lower pitch than the other side, just because it's so old, the way it was built, it's probably settled a bit. Anyway, that's by the by. The point is, in an exaggerated way, you've effectively got a roof like that and this side goes there. So when you get to the same height, if you run a spirit level right the way across the roof there, this side of the roof here would have had a longer distance from the ridge down. So I got two options here. With this window opening, I'm actually going to run slates down the middle. I've got two windows. The one window on the left is going to be the landing. This window here is going to be within the bedroom. Now, currently, the way it is, probably can't quite see it from the camera, but the window is the same distance from the centre either side. So two windows will be exactly the same width. Problem is with that, is that side is actually slightly higher because that side of the roof is longer. It's just the way it works out. So I can either leave it like that, or what I prefer to do is actually have the windows a slightly different width but coming down to the same height. So if you run a spirit level from where that diagonal comes down and meets the vertical, right the way across to there, that's what I'm going to do. But what it means is the window on that side is actually going to be slightly longer. But my way of thinking is you're never going to be looking at this window straight on unless you were stood on the neighbour's roof over there. So because you're always walking around the house from down on the road, you'll never be able to work out, because of perspective, which one is longer than the other anyway. So I think it's best to have them coming down to the same height and the one slightly longer. And probably visually when you look at it, you'll never be able to work that out anyway. So whether that's the right thing to do or not, that's what I'm doing. I think it's going to look best. So that's why I've now got to just take this little vertical out there, the strut, I'm going to move it across, cut the OSB board down and just set it to the right place. And I've got to do that before I carry on with doing these battens. Like everything else with this roof, you think you're going to get one job done and then you realise there's another one to do before you can carry on with the next one, which is a real pain, but it's got to be done. Nicely, I've got this back to the right size, trimmed it back. I've left these bits on because that's just for my my covers that I put in the window. That's the only other thing I've got to remember now, is I've got to make that slightly wider before I finish for the day, because if it starts raining, try to put it in, it's too small, it's going to fall through. So there's always something, like I said, you make one alteration, you've got to make two others.
The club shuts and I'm always leaving alone. I know, and it tells a story and how it's gonna end. Tell a story, this is black and white.
So now my battens done on the bottom, still got a few to do at the side there, but before it gets dark I just want to try and finish off this frame, the bit that I stick back in as my cover, because I've got to widen it out again so it fits properly, because we've obviously widened the opening. So it turns out an extra batten and this piece of OSB board, which is a few mil less than the width of the batten, just the job, fits in nicely. Perfect, so that's all working, pop it back out and I can carry on to work for now. Now all I'm going to do is cut a few slates now. I'm not going to fit them today because I can see the sun's going to set soon and it's really cold up here at the moment, so I'm just going to cut a load of slates for my eaves course, the small ones, then the next size ones, and then we're on to full slates. So what I'll do is try and get all those done today, stack them up to one side, and then they're ready to go for the next time I get out here then, so hopefully we'll just get on with some slating and no messing around.
On my own again, I take every punch you throw. This sound is the same sound as any sound. This place is the
wind's blowing up now and it's a really cold, crisp evening and it looks like the sun's going to set soon. I just wanted to show you that beautiful view we got over there. Look at that sun. That is lovely. So, I'm going to do the best I can to make this lead apron now. So I know the lead apron fits, so that can go back away for now. I've also got these few slates at the bottom that I need to add on before I put the lead apron on, but I'm going to leave that for today because I'm still using this bit to climb in and out, so just avoid me cracking those. So what I am going to do, now I've got my LED lamp set up, is I'm just going to try and finish off the battens on the front of the dormer and get to the top, because it's something that I can probably do quite easily with the light. Anything a bit more detailed, they're probably going to struggle out here now. that's more or less it for today. It's dark now, I'm using this light. It's a bit difficult to see what I'm doing, and I've just finished all the battens anyway. So we're at the point now where obviously all my vertical battens are done, all my horizontal battens are done. I've got a few more slates just by there. You can see there the bits I step up and into the loft. So I'm going to leave those again for now, but next time I'm out here I think we're going to finish those. I've done the lead work you saw earlier, so I can just put that straight over the top, bang it into place. And then I've cut all the slates today as well, so they're ready to go, so I can start running the eaves course in there, work my way up. You saw me earlier up there. I managed to widen that window, and I've obviously altered the loft hatch, which is a good thing because now it's dark. I just want to get it in and get in the house, have a nice cup of tea. So that was worth doing earlier. So I'm going to go in now and have a cup of tea. Maybe a takeaway tonight, who knows? Maybe I'll go mad and treat myself. Let's face it, a takeaway is a sort of highlight of my weekend these days. So that's it for today's video, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you haven't done so already, then please subscribe. If you're interested in any of the tools I used in this video, I'll put a link to those in the description section below. And for more DIY, how-to, household tips and product review, please watch my other videos and don't forget to subscribe. I've been Pouse around the house. Ta-ta, farewell.